Important alert. This news will break you. And it started. My dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this is urgent. You must listen now. You must not scroll past this. You must not silence it again. You've silenced too many messages, and that silence has caused what you are about to find out. A terrible moment was birthed in the shadow of your last unanswered sign. And now, this message must reach your soul. Archangel Michael says this is not a test. This is not symbolic. This is the message. The one we prayed you would never need to read. But something changed. Someone said something they were never supposed to say. Someone opened their mouth and revealed a part of your life to someone who cannot be trusted. And now, the danger is real. This news will break you unless you hear it fully and obey without delay. God is not speaking through whispers anymore. He is speaking like thunder now because your name was spoken in the secret chambers of someone whose mouth was sealed shut until the day after your last message was left unanswered. They read what you wrote. They felt something crack in them. And they ran to tell someone else, a person God has been protecting you from. But when you didn't open the message, the shield weakened. The barrier around you trembled. The divine code that kept your life invisible to certain forces was momentarily accessed. And that was all it took. All it took was one moment of spiritual silence, and they saw something. They found something. A photo. A location. A link. Your name written in someone's contact list. And now, they're moving. And God is trying to freeze time just long enough for you to act before the outcome is permanent. You must not look away from this. Archangel Michael is standing with his sword raised, not to fight, but to warn. He is crying out, not in battle, but in sorrow. Because the moment this message began forming in heaven, something around you began breaking. And now it's visible in the spirit. Even the birds outside can sense the air is shifting. Even the wind passing through your window has been charged with divine urgency. You are being watched. That is the truth. Not by angels. Not by God. Not by good. Someone who once had access to your life is no longer just thinking about you. They are researching you, asking about you, describing you, showing screenshots. And what they are describing is not who you really are, but who they need you to appear to be so that someone else joins their side. There is a plan to distort your light. To create a story around you that isn't real, but they are using fragments of truth and twisting them just enough that even good people will question your heart. And all of this started, truly started, after your last message. God says, you don't understand what the silence cost. But I forgive you. That is why I am sending this now. You still have time to stop what's coming, but only if you listen fully. When your last message reached the divine realm, angels began forming a protective message back to you. But when you didn't open the response, the line weakened. Someone on earth, whose hands are not clean, felt that moment. They had been trying to sense when your energy would become vulnerable. They were waiting. And when your guard dropped, they started moving. Someone picked up a phone and called a name they hadn't said in years. They spoke your name with bitterness, with envy. They said things like, "Do you know what they're doing now? Do you remember when they did that to me? Do you know who's helping them now?" And they included things that were never supposed to be public. They showed private texts. They showed photos saved in hidden folders. They revealed a voice note you never knew they still had. And worst of all, they added lies between the facts. And now, someone with influence believes them. The biggest danger is not that they're watching you. It's that someone powerful has started to believe their version of you. This is why Archangel Michael is so distressed. Michael says, "I have protected you in battles seen and unseen." But this is not a battle. This is a betrayal wrapped in evidence. And if it goes unchallenged, it could become the false narrative that shapes the next 5 years of your life. You have 3 things working in your favor right now, but they won't last forever. 1. The person who received the twisted version of your story is still uncertain. They haven't acted yet. They are debating. And if you open this message in time and obey the divine instructions, Heaven can send clarity into their heart before they choose. 2. There's a file. A spiritual file, kept by an angel assigned to you since birth. That file includes the truth about what happened and the situations they are now using against you. If you choose to pray after reading this, Michael will release that file into the hands of a witness, someone who can speak up for you unexpectedly. 3. Your tears matter. You don't cry easily. But when you cry for real, God moves mountains. And if you pray while reading this, really cry out in truth, something will break in your favor. Heaven will respond in a way that changes the direction of this entire attack. But you must know what started this. It wasn't a mistake. It was a missed message. A moment when God sent something to protect you, and you didn't feel how urgent it was. You left it unopened, unread, unseen. And in the space left behind, someone else took your story and rewrote it without your permission. God says, "But I am the author of your life. And I can rewrite what they wrote. I can silence their words. I can expose their hidden motives. I can even stop the person they contacted from ever sharing the lie. But you must trust me again. You must return. Not just in words, but in surrender." This next part is the most difficult to reveal. You were named in a conversation involving money. A transaction is being arranged, and your name is written in a note attached to it. You are being used as leverage. They are saying things like, "If you want access to that, I need you to help me stop them. I need you to ruin their name." This isn't drama. It's spiritual manipulation. Someone wants something that belongs to someone else, and they're offering your reputation in exchange for it. And they're getting close. Michael says, "The message must reach you now. I have screamed into the wind. I have tried to whisper in dreams. I have hovered near your window sill. I have knocked on doors in the spirit. I have shaken signs near your phone. And now I'm writing through this messenger. Please don't look away this time. This message will hurt. because you're about to realize someone you loved more than they deserved has been holding back a story. You're not a storm against you. They're not a stranger. They're not distant. They're someone you once defended. You took their side. You forgave them when everyone told you not to. You prayed for them. You sent them light. And now they are feeding your name to someone who has the ability to publicly harm you. Not physically, but reputationally, emotionally, financially. There's a document with your name on it being reviewed. It's incomplete. But the person reading it doesn't know that. They are seeing an altered version of events. Someone added dates and removed details. And now it paints you as the problem. The reason something went wrong. The reason someone else fell apart. But God knows what really happened. And He can still send someone to speak for you before this becomes irreversible. You must do two things before midnight. 1. Pray out loud. Not just quietly. You must speak your name and say, God, protect my name in rooms I cannot enter. Reveal the lie. Scatter the plot. Let the truth reach the one who holds this story in their hands. 2. Forgive the one who betrayed you. Not because they deserve it, but because holding their sin in your heart gives them spiritual access. Forgiveness breaks the access. Forgiveness seals the leak. Forgiveness sends the angels back into formation. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. Michael says, if they do these two things, I will intercept the message before it spreads. I will step into the courtroom of false accusations. I will reroute the person who received the lies. I will cause them to pause, to doubt, to remember a truth that contradicts what they were told. But if you ignore this, the story will spread. And by the time you try to fix it, the damage may already be done. This is the turning point. You must choose now. Don't go to sleep without praying. Don't walk away thinking this is just another message. This message is the one heaven hoped you'd open before the damage began. And you still have time, barely. God says, I will protect you. But you must return to me. You must not fight this alone. You must not try to prove your innocence in human ways. Let me defend you. Let me reveal what they tried to hide. Let me send a voice that speaks louder than the lies. Archangel Michael is weeping again. Not in sorrow, but in hope. Because you opened this. And now, the miracle can begin. God says, it's an emergency. Do not scroll away. Don't ignore this. I have never spoken like this before, and yet I speak now because your soul is hanging in a moment of decision that could shift your entire future. This message is not for everyone. This message is not for everyone. It is not general. It is specific. It is coded in the language your spirit will recognize, even if your mind doubts. It's for you. That's why you're here. That's why you're seeing this now. Because heaven has watched too closely, especially after your last message, your last cry, your last prayer, and something unseen was set into motion immediately. Archangel Michael says, important alert. This news will break you, but only because it will awaken you. This news will shatter the illusion, reveal the deception, uncover the truth, and yes, it started after your last message. You thought that message was just another moment in pain, but that cry shook the walls of heaven. That whisper, that broken breath, that silent scream, you don't realize what it opened. When you whispered those words, "God, help me. I don't know what to do anymore," something divine responded. Not everyone heard it, but Michael did. And when he heard, he rose. He stepped out from the gates, sword blazing, and he began moving toward you. But what he found near you made him weep. Michael says, "Why didn't they tell you? Why did they keep this from you? Why did they block the message meant for your deliverance?" You thought they were ignoring you, but they weren't just ignoring you. They were hiding something from you. A message that was supposed to reach you was intercepted. It was silenced. And it was after your last message that the enemy panicked. Because your message had power. Because your message had heaven's signature. And when they heard what you prayed, they knew you were closer than ever before to receiving the truth. Someone around you has been hiding a very deep and disturbing truth. Not only hiding it, but covering it in kindness, camouflaging it with smiles. But their hands are not clean. They were involved in something spiritual that invited darkness to sit near you. God says, they gave permission to something to follow you, to watch you, to wait for the moment when you were most tired, so it could destroy what was meant to bloom in your life. This is not paranoia. This is not imagination. This is revelation. Your name was written. Written in two places. One place holy. The other cursed. The war over your soul, your mind, your peace, your future, it escalated when you decided to walk away from something that kept you trapped. But what you didn't know is that as soon as you stepped out of that spiritual cage, they began whispering your name. Someone close. Someone you trusted. Someone who pretended to pray for you. But behind your back, they spoke curses. They mentioned your name in the presence of someone who does not love you. God says, they used your name like a pawn, like a tool, like a joke. But what they didn't know is that your name is sealed in the heavens. That angels respond when your name is called. That your name carries fire. That your name carries legacy. That your name, when whispered in secret by liars, becomes the reason justice is sent to expose and dismantle everything false around you. Michael says, there is a shadow near you. It stands behind the one who calls you friend. It hides in the silence of the one who should have told you the truth. This shadow started moving after your last message because your last message disturbed it. You pierced through something. You don't realize how powerful you really are. You broke a curse with that last whisper. That cry. It shattered glass in the spirit realm. But because of that, retaliation began. The enemy knows time is short. That's why everything has felt more chaotic. That's why the pressure is building. That's why the same toxic patterns are coming back to test you. It is not coincidence. It is not your weakness. It is a spiritual trap trying to rewind the progress you made. But God says, you will not go back. I will not allow it. I sent Archangel Michael to protect what they are trying to reach. They want access to the part of you that is just now waking up. They want the old you to come back, the tired you, the confused you, the desperate you. But heaven says, I have already sealed your next season. They cannot touch what I've written in fire. But you must hear this now. This is the emergency. Someone is planning to appear with good intentions, but they are carrying poison. Their words will sound soft. Their timing will seem perfect. But behind the scenes, they were instructed to return and distract you from the truth you've just started to uncover. They are not coming with a message. They are coming with a mission. A mission to pull you back into what God already pulled you out of. You will feel at the moment they arrive. That strange feeling in your chest. That odd tension. That confusion mixed with curiosity. Don't ignore it. God says, I gave you discernment not to torture you, but to train you. Don't confuse spiritual signals with fear. What you are feeling is the holy alert system of your spirit. And it is sounding the alarm now. After your last message, Michael began investigating what was being said about you behind your back. He walked into spiritual places that had your name hidden in dark journals. He saw the faces of people who smiled at you but plotted against your joy. He heard their secrets. And now he comes with a message. But this message is dangerous. Because if you open it, your life will never be the same. It is not a message to make you feel good. It is a message to set you free. But sometimes freedom comes with fire. Michael says, there is something you must see. A letter was never sent. But it was written. It holds the name of the one who betrayed you. It holds the moment they made a deal to keep something from you. This letter is still hidden, but not for long. Heaven is preparing a moment within 72 hours where the truth will come to you. It will arrive suddenly. It may not be a literal letter. It may be a word. A post. A mistake. An overheard conversation. But it will be the unraveling of the lies. You will not have to search for this truth. It will come to you. But you must be brave when it does. It will shake your heart. Because it's not a stranger. It's someone you trusted. Someone who saw your wounds and used them as a child. Someone who saw them as a child. God says, I will not let them hide anymore. You were never meant to walk blind. You were never meant to suffer in silence. You were never meant to carry questions that never get answered. This is the season where I bring exposure. Not to break you, but to release you. What's coming is heavy. But so is your calling. And this moment was always part of the story. You thought nothing was happening. You were wrong. Everything was happening, but in silence. But now I speak. Now I send this word. Now I bring the fire. Now I shake the ground. Now I bring the exposure. And you will be free. The last time they lied about you, heaven watched. The last time they mocked your belief, heaven heard. Heaven heard. The last time they said your name in jealousy, heaven recorded. The last time they wished you failure, heaven reversed it. Everything has been written, and everything will now be revealed. Michael stands beside you now. He will protect you when the truth hits. Because the truth is heavier than you expected. But it's what you need. It's what you prayed for. Even if you don't remember the prayer, heaven did. After your last message, angels were assigned. One to watch over your home. One to stand at your door. One to walk with you in silence. And one, Michael himself, to deliver this message. That's why you're here now. That's why you're reading this. Because time is running out, and they will try again to deceive you. This message is your proof that heaven never forgot you. It's not too late, but you must be alert. And you must prepare. Because what's coming will break illusions. But it will also break chains. Are you ready? Then open your hands. Close your eyes. And say this aloud, God, I receive this message. I will not run from the truth. I will face it. I will be brave. I will stand in your light. Send Archangel Michael to protect me. Expose what needs to be exposed. Restore what was stolen. Break what was cursed. And bring me into the season you have prepared for me. I believe. I receive. I surrender. Amen. And now, wait. Because in the next 72 hours, what has been hidden will begin to rise. God says, this is not random. This is not a game. This is not for entertainment. This is divine strategy. Divine revelation. Divine war. And your name is written on the victory scroll. They tried to hide it. But heaven exposed it. They tried to erase you. But heaven restored you. They tried to curse you. But heaven anointed you. Now rise. And never look back. Michael has watched you grow through pain you never spoke aloud. He saw the nights you wept silently, not because someone hurt you directly, but because something felt broken in the atmosphere around you. That heaviness, that unseen pressure, that confusion in your heart, all of it had roots. You didn't know where it was coming from. You blamed yourself. You told yourself maybe you were just tired, or sensitive, or overthinking. But no, my child, you were spiritually bleeding from invisible wounds inflicted by words spoken behind your back. Words spoken by someone who should have protected you. Someone you led into your heart. Someone who smiled while confessing things about you that shattered heaven's peace. Michael tried to come sooner. He tried to reveal it when the confession first began. He even sent dreams. Do you remember the strange dreams where someone you loved suddenly turned on you? That wasn't fantasy. That was warning. That was Michael's early cry, sent before the damage grew. But you woke up, shook it off, and said, "It's just a dream." And Michael wept again, because he knew how close you were to knowing. He knew that if you had opened then, you might have avoided what followed. But it's not too late, my beloved. That's why I've sent this message now. This person, the one who confessed, they were not under pressure. They were not manipulated. They spoke of you freely. And what they said, it wasn't just personal. It was designed to make others see you as less. They wanted your light to dim so theirs would shine. God says, this is not an ordinary moment. This is not just another message. This is a divine interruption. This is a sacred alarm from heaven. Archangel Michael has sounded it. He is calling out your name because something shifted. After your last message, something happened that cannot be undone. Something powerful was triggered in the spirit realm, something that will change everything for you. But now you must understand the weight of it. You must understand the urgency. You must open your heart completely, because what you are about to learn may shape you. It may break you, but it will also set you free. Archangel Michael says, this is important. You cannot ignore this. You cannot skip this. You cannot delay. The news has already been delivered in heaven. The scroll has already been unrolled. And on that scroll, written in divine ink, is the truth that's been hidden from you, until now. It began the moment your heart opened in prayer. It began when you sent that last message, when you cried out, when you whispered those desperate words, God, help me. That plea shook heaven. That cry reached the ears of angels. And the moment it did, the veil was lifted. The mask was removed. And the truth began to unfold. You felt something, haven't you? A strange tension. An invisible pull. A heaviness in your chest that you couldn't explain. A sudden silence from someone you trusted. A delay that didn't make sense. You thought it was just a bad day. You thought maybe you were being dramatic. But that was not your imagination. That was not paranoia. That was a divine signal. Something started moving behind the scenes. Something you couldn't see. And now God says it's time, you know. There's someone you love. Someone you believe is for you, with you, supportive of you. But their heart has changed. And they didn't tell you. They kept smiling, kept pretending, kept showing up like nothing had shifted. But in silence, they began choosing something else. Someone else. A different path. A different outcome. They have been wrestling inside their spirit, trying to decide whether to tell you. And Archangel Michael says they have made their decision. But they did not include you in it. The plan they made behind your back was not supposed to be exposed yet. But heaven says you deserve the truth. Because this person has already started moving away emotionally, spiritually, energetically. They've said things about you in private that would break your heart if you heard them. They've made promises to others while keeping you in the dark. They thought they could manage both worlds. They thought you'd never find out. But your last message to heaven broke the dam. Your cry made it impossible for God to keep silent any longer. God says you have suffered enough. You have endured betrayal before. You've been lied to, used, manipulated, and discarded in the past. And you've kept going, kept forgiving, kept believing in love. But this time, I won't let them play with your heart. This time, I'm exposing it early. This time, I'm stepping in before the damage is permanent. Because I love you too much to let you be destroyed again. You are mine. You belong to me. And what is coming for you is so sacred, so holy, so real, that I must remove the false before I release the true. This news may break you, but it will also free you. It will shatter the illusion. It will burn the fantasy. But it will make room for something that will not hurt you. I am not a god of confusion. I am not a god of deception. I reveal what is hidden. I tear down what is false. I expose what is dangerous. And I restore what is lost. Your heart is precious to me. Your soul is rare. And I will not let another person dim your light just because they don't know how to hold it. Michael says the signs have already been there. You just didn't want to believe them. The sudden distance. The forgotten promises. The excuses. The defensiveness. The change in tone. The messages that take longer to reply. The energy that feels colder. You noticed it. Your spirit told you. But your heart didn't want to accept it. And that's okay. Because you are loyal. You are loving. You don't give up on people. That is your strength, not your weakness. But now heaven is asking you. Don't betray yourself to stay loyal to someone who has already disconnected from you. This person was sent for a season. They had a purpose. They were part of the journey. But not every chapter is forever. Some connections expire when the lesson is complete. And if you hold on too long, it becomes poison instead of purpose. God says you are entering a new season. And not everyone can come. Not because you're not enough. But because you're growing. And your growth exposes what's not real. Your growth challenges the people who only loved you when you were smaller, quieter, easier to control. They don't know what to do with the version of you that's awakening now. You are stepping into divine alignment. You are stepping into your calling. And that light is making some people uncomfortable. That truth is exposing the lies around you. Archangel Michael says this is not an attack. It is a divine correction. The detour is not destruction. It is redirection. You are being protected. You are being repositioned. You are being prepared for something so much greater. Do not chase them. Do not beg for explanations. Do not lose sleep trying to understand why they changed. You may never get the closure you wanted, but you will get the healing you deserve. And that healing will come faster now because heaven has spoken. The weight has been lifted. The secret has been revealed. And you are no longer in the dark. This is your moment of truth. This is your divine wake-up call. And yet, in all this shaking, you are still safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Not because of who you are, but because of who you are. You belong to the Most High. You are protected by angels. You are guided by light. Even when you feel lost, you are surrounded by heaven. Even when you feel broken, you are being held together by grace. You are not falling apart. You are being rebuilt. Stronger. Wiser. Braver. Cleaner. Clear. God says, your future is not tied to anyone who walked away. Your promise is not in the hands of people who left. What I have for you cannot be taken. What I have assigned to your life cannot be replaced. The only thing that can delay it is your refusal to let go of what's no longer yours. So release it now. Let go. Trust me. I am not asking you to understand. I am asking you to surrender. I know what I'm doing. I see what you cannot see. And I am working all things together for your good. This pain will pass. The confusion will fade. And in its place, a new peace will settle. A new strength will rise. A new clarity will emerge. And you will look back at this moment not with bitterness, but with gratitude. Because what the enemy meant for harm, I turned into healing. What they meant to break you, I used to build you. What they thought would silence you, became the fire that ignited your voice. Archangel Michael says, your destiny is too big for small games. Your spirit is too deep for shallow people. Your light is too bright to dim it for people who are afraid to shine. You were born to lead. You were created to awaken others. You were formed in the fire for such a time as this. So don't cry over the ones who couldn't see you. Don't collapse because someone chose a different path. That is their journey. Yours is just beginning. And now, take a breath. Feel this truth. Let it settle in your bones. Let it break what it needs to break. Let it free what it needs to free. And then rise. Rise with renewed vision. Rise with holy fire. Rise with the knowing that God has not abandoned you. He has called you. He has chosen you. And He is preparing something sacred for your life. Something that cannot be stolen. Something that will not betray you. Something that will make sense of every wound. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of your victory. And no matter what happens next, you are covered. You are protected.